Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, welcome. My name is Kate. Today we're going to be doing some testing, a whole new face of a new makeup. I cannot believe the drugstore, I feel like, has been coming in hard with these new makeup releases. And I'm here for it. I'm super jazzed. If this is the kind of content that you are interested in, it would really help me out a lot if you would give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel down below. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so as I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be doing a full face of new makeup, which I'm so excited about. A lot of these are drugstore, so let's get into it. I did not buy a new primer because I bought a new foundation. This is by NYX and it is their Bear With Me Blur foundation. I have mine in the shade Light Ivory. So we're gonna see how this works. We're gonna be using a brush and I'm gonna go in with my Laura Lee Los Angeles L11 brush. Favorite foundation brushes. If you have not tried the Laura Lee Los Angeles brushes, I would encourage you to. The quality is fantastic. The longevity is fantastic. All things are fantastic. So I did already prime my face because I knew I was going to be using a new foundation. So I went in with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer and my tried and true Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. So our base is set up for success. These are two of my favorite primers. So I have high hopes, high hopes. We'll start with a smaller amount and kind of see where that leads us. My understanding of this foundation is that it's supposed to be more of a medium coverage, which I would say is reigning true. Just add a little more and see if we can build this. So this is how the foundation is looking. I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm actually pretty impressed. Don't mind my eyebrows. I'm not done with them. I started to do them and they're just a mess. So just pretend you don't see them right now. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I did use, of course, my pore filling primer because if you don't know, I have combination skin with enlarged texture. I grew up having really oily skin and really horrific acne. So I'm just blessed that we're at the stage that we're at, to be honest. So for under the eyes and for concealer today, we're going to be going in with this here. It is the IRL Filter Finish Concealer by Makeup Revolution. I've heard really good things about that foundation. I've heard like a couple naysayers, but for the most part, I've heard positive things. Historically, I have had decent luck with Makeup Revolution and their complexion products specifically. So I am optimistic that we will get somewhere with this today. I bought mine in the shade C2. It's supposed to be a soft matte anti-creasing concealer, waterproof as well. So, you know, I guess kind of depending on how this goes, shades in it for the summer. I want to be clear, not that I'm swimming in my makeup, because honestly, when we go to the beach, I don't wear a spot of makeup other than SPF, of course. And maybe waterproof mascara if I'm feeling really feeling myself that day. But that's, you know, far and few between. So initial application, I would say that it's full coverage and it looks nice under my eyes. I am going to set it, I have a new powder here today, but I'm not going to set it with that. I'm going to set it with, again, something that is tried and true, and this is by Jaclyn Cosmetics. It has her blurring under eye powders. So I'm going to go ahead and set it with this. Primarily because when I show you the powder that I picked up, I ordered this all online, of course, at Ulta Beauty. And the powder that I picked up does not look like it's going to lead us to victory in the sense of setting the under eye. So I want to make sure we're like setting all of these products up for success, because the reality of the situation is that like I buy all of this makeup myself, so I want it to work. I want to love it. So I'm trying to do everything in my power to make that happen. To set the rest of my face, we are going to go in with this by Milani. It is their new Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Powder. I have the shade 01 Translucent. In what world is this translucent? In what world? So I'm a little nervous about this, to be honest. As far as like, if I'm nervous about anything, it's this. It's this. It's this. So it has a really interesting mechanism where you pull up here and it looks like the powder is under this white film right here, but I can't tell if I'm supposed to be like pulling that film up. Going with my powder poof. This is just from Amazon. So this white part is supposed to come up. And then it has like that net slash mesh here. I'm gonna be honest that this like format is not my favorite, but what can you do? So to work around it, I put some in my cap. So it's very, I'm gonna warn folks out there, if you have yellow undertones and a yellow based powder or foundation or any complexion product is kind of your go-to, this very much has peach, which thankfully for me is not a big deal. I have a cool undertone, but I'm just thinking about my peach, my yellow and neutral and olive based besties, and I'm just not sure that this is going to be the move. It works fine for me. I'll be curious to see if any of you try this powder and try the translucent shade and whether or not that worked out, how that worked out for you. I will say first impressions on the powder, other than the color being a little sus, I do look rather blurred. First impressions, like for instance, I love the Huda Beauty setting powder. I just find that that is so blurring and like mattifying and perfect. And I don't know that this is exactly that, where it lands. I don't think it's going to pick up on camera, but like right here, it almost is like kind of clinging to some of the drier areas on my face. But overall, I'm being like pretty nitpicky at this point. It does give a blurring effect. So in that way, I'm content. I'm going to go ahead and put on bronzer. I don't have a new bronzer, but I do have a new blush, which I'm super excited about. So I'll be right back. For blush today, we're going to go in with this by Too Faced, and it is their new Cloud Crush blush. Super excited about this. The compact, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and the compact is a little smaller than I was hoping for, but absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited for this. I got mine in the shade Candy Clouds. I believe it's actually sold out right now, this specific shade on Ulta, but it looked very similar to that Cold Girl Makeup / Dior blush that is going around right now, and I'm super excited to see how this is. For blush today, I'm using one by Laura Lee Los Angeles. It's the L31. I love this. This is so cute. Again, I have the shade Candy Clouds, and I think it's so pretty. So pretty. It almost has like a little bit of radiance to it, not like glowy glitter, but it doesn't look flat matte, which honestly I prefer. It's not emphasizing texture. Guys, I love my base right now. I love my base right now. Even the spots where I was like kind of concerned about the powder, I think I just needed to blend it better. Yeah, I'm smitten as a kitten with new mittens right now. So I'm going to go ahead and set my base. For that, I'm going to use my Nimia. What is this called? Set it and forget it setting spray. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to come back because I have some new mascara, which I'm super excited to try out. It's by Milani. It's a tubing mascara. And then we have an eyeshadow palette here by Colourpop, the Sage of the Day palette. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. My face is set. I did put on highlighter. I don't have a new highlighter, so I just used my one from Odin's Eye. But now we are going to dive in to this palette by Colourpop. This is their Sage of the Day. I am jazzed about this. This is what the colors are looking like. I just think that they look stunning. Absolutely stunning. Let me see if I can get some swatches going here real quick. So here are some of those shades swatched. For me, they feel very reminiscent of regular Colourpop quality. I know, honestly, in 2022, there was a lot of concerns around consistency with Colourpop. I kind of took a hiatus from Colourpop just because I felt like I was feeling FOMO around it, and I felt like I had to keep up with the Joneses, and it just really wasn't productive for me anymore to keep buying and buying and buying from Colourpop. So I took a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm back. I wanted to try this, and I have high hopes. However, it did not go unnoticed that I saw some folks identifying consistency issues, which is so strange because I feel like that was one of the like selling points of Colourpop, right? Is that they have really consistently good shadows for an affordable price. But who am I? I'm gonna go in with my Sigma E40 Max, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Sips Tea. I'm not gonna be doing anything too crazy or over the top today. Honestly, I'm going to work right after this, so I'm just gonna keep it cool, keep it cash, because I don't know what awaits me at work. If I knew it was gonna be like a really chill day or a day when my hard work was not gonna get messed up by running around like a chicken with my head cut off, then I would be more likely to do something maybe a little bit more extravagant, but today's not that day. For our next shade, I'm going to go in with this little bit darker green called Keep Calm, and I'm just going to try to focus that a little bit more in the crease. I will say there is a ton of kickback in this pan, which personally I really don't give two hoots about, but some people really care about it, so I always want to try to mention it if I can. Also, I'm using a Morphe M441 brush to blend this. Have you guys heard about like all the tomfoolery going on with Morphe right now? It's wild. So I kind of see their, sorry, don't fall out. I see where they're going with it as far as like, okay, so we need to make a change and we're going to close our brick and mortar stores because maybe those are not doing as well for us as we had hoped. Right? So like, okay, so do that ethically. How about that? How about we do it ethically, where we're not leaving people out of jobs or right before or right after the holidays with like 5 seconds notice. How about that? I think, this is just my opinion. I think they shot themselves in the foot because I think now they're not going to be getting, of course, foot traffic. And now they're not going to be getting as much, in my opinion, they're not going to be getting as much e-commerce because they just, excuse my language, they just pooed all over their employees. And people are pissed about it, rightfully so. It's like, it's not how we treat people. That's especially, it's like, okay, I understand, like, obviously somewhere down the rabbit hole here something went amiss, because you used to be like untouchable and now you feel very touchable. Like, it feels a lot like things are not going well for you monetarily, but that doesn't mean that we screw other people over. And also, like, at the risk of being rude, I'm sorry, I didn't even say, I'm going in with the shade Manifest here on my outer corner, and just dragging that really specifically into the crease. But what I was saying is that it just kind of feels mismanaged to me, because it's like, okay, so for how many years? At least 5, right? You were really like, you were the dog, the tippity top dog, eating filet mignon, right? And so somewhere along the line, you became less popular, okay? And that's fine. Not everyone can be at the top forever. That's fine, whatever. But it's like, so how did you go from having all of that wealth and all of that popularity to being like, you can't even give your employees a notice that you're closing? What? Or you have to, like, suddenly, very suddenly seemingly, close all your brick and mortar stores with minimal compensation? Like, come again. I don't know. Let me know if you guys down below have, like, heard about this drama and, like, what your thoughts are on it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to keep me up at night, like Morphe going under. But it is really unsettling to me anyways that they couldn't properly compensate their employees. Like, what in the world is going on around here, Morphe? Knuckleheads. I don't know. So my point being here with this rant, I feel like they're gonna go under because they shot themselves in the foot, in my, again, humble opinion. I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Nature Bay. This is honestly like why I bought the palette, because this shade looked really stunning. I really like this eye look, and if I'm being transparent, I really like this whole look altogether. I think my base looks nice. I think my eyes look nice. I will say, this is very similar to the Mandalorian, the Child palette. I think like this shade is a little bit more unique, and I think the Mandalorian maybe has like a couple more greens in here, but actually, let me grab the Mandalorian. So I have to be really careful with my Mandalorian because of this gold shade over here is hanging on for dear life, but they're, in my opinion, they're like quite similar. So I think maybe if you have this one, you don't necessarily need this one. Again, I got this one because this shade felt special to me, and I do think it's pretty. It's nothing like a revolutionary, but I think it's pretty. I'm happy I have this in my collection, but again, it's, if you have the Child palette, I would not like encourage you to run out and grab Sage of the Day unless you're like, I must have it, which is admittedly how I was feeling about it. So, all right, now we're gonna do mascara. So this is by Milani, and it is their new highly rated lash extensions tubing mascara. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real honest. I've never used a tubing mascara. I don't know why. I do have mine in the shade black, but I've been really looking forward to trying a tubing mascara, and this one, the price was right. I believe it was just under $10. So I was like, all right, this could be it. This could be it. My only concern is the wand on this. I personally do not prefer a plastic wand, but we'll just see. So first impressions, I'm not mad at it. It did, normally my technique when I'm applying mascara is I blink onto it because I'm really trying to get my mascara to coat my lashes, of course. However, that was not a successful technique this go round. Because it's a little bit of a more wet formula. That being said, I find a lot of times when I buy a new mascara, I find it to be a little bit too wet. So I like to try it out several more times before I, give it the boot or make any harsh judgments about it. I will say I like this mascara more than I have a mascara in a long time based on first impression. So for me and that, I'm jazzed. I'm jazzed about this. So this is how the base is looking. Let me see if I can pull you in a little bit. My under eyes look like they're holding on for dear life. So I don't know about the concealer just yet. I think I'll need to try it out a little bit more. I like the consistency. I like the blendability. I like the coverage. If you're somebody that likes a more light to medium coverage concealer, I don't think this one's going to be the one for you. As far as the foundation goes, again, first impressions here, but I really like it. I really do think that it did a nice job blurring my pores. The shade was pretty decent for me. I felt like the shades were okay on this new foundation, on this new line. It does come with the 1 fluid ounce, so that's like very standard. I felt like the price was fair. I don't know. I feel like NYX does a really nice job with complexion, and I really wouldn't say that this is any exception to that. The powder, the jury's still out on this one. I am so curious to know if you guys have tried this powder. Please comment down below and let me know how it's worked for you. I think it's pretty. I really like my base. I like the way it's looking right now, but when I see translucent powder that's like borderline orange, I get a little nervous, especially for folks that don't have a cooler undertone. I don't know, or a peachy undertone or orange. I don't know. Let me know how you guys like it. I like right now, again, I think it looks nice on my skin. I would not use it to set under my eyes. But that's just kind of that on that. I love this blush. It's one of those, and I think my camera's not doing it a ton of justice, but it's one of those where it's a more buildable consistency. So it's not going to be one where you put on a couple of dots and it's this super pigmented blush. I used a more dense blush brush. I used this one again, the L31 by Laura Lee Los Angeles, which is not like super dense, but it's a bit more dense, and I had to like build it. I honestly almost prefer that kind of formula though, because I find that if it's like too pigmented at first, it can be harder to blend, and then when you do blend it, it's like too concentrated in one area. So I definitely am curious to try more shades from this line. I love this. I'm so happy that I have it. I think we touched pretty much all the points I wanted to on mascara. I think it's pretty. That being said, when I am picking out a mascara, I'm really looking for a lengthening property, and this does it. This does it for me, I think, although it's also called lash extension. So I'm not seeing a lot in the way of volume. Volume is not something I'm super as concerned about as length, because I just feel like my lashes are a little stubby. And then finally, the Stage of the Day palette. I'm happy I have this in my collection. I think it's super cute. I love the colors in here. That being said though, if you have the Mandalorian, I really don't think you need to like run out and grab Stage of the Day, because I think they're similar enough. If you guys wanted me to do swatches of these side by side, I'd be happy to do that. But again, I'm happy I have it, but it's not that much different than the Mandalorian. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would give this video a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel down below. As always, please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay blessed. And I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.